Are you constantly complaining about the game being too easy? Do you want more challenge in Path of Exile? Well, I got the solution for you. Being dumb! Being dumb means you can make bad decisions. Even though we know that a good league starting build scales well with gem levels and does not need expensive and specific rare gear to work, we can still decide to ignore all of that. So instead of playing one of the builds that scale with gem levels, such as a Spellcaster, Explosive Arrow or Caustic Arrow, a build that needs very little gear to function really well, I will play an attack build. And to make things worse, a crit attack build, which needs even more specific gear. And to make things even worse, a melee crit attack build. And because that does not yet need specific enough gear, I will also go CI and not use an ascendancy class that allows you to get high energy shield easily. But keep in mind, the goal is not to create a shit build, but a build that will be hard to get going, to make the leveling experience, the gearing progression and early mapping more interesting and challenging. In fact, this build should be very strong in endgame, be able to do all tiers of maps and challenge the hardest boss content while having extremely fast clear speed. Therefore I choose Reave. Reave was the go-to melee skill before the whole earthquake incident happened. Its screen-wide AoE and great damage made it reign the melee meta for several leagues. And now in 2.4 it got a nice 12% more damage buff, alongside a minimal AoE nerf when using Val Reave, but the AoE should be more than fine still. So I will start off Hardcore Essence League with a Chaos Innoculation, Crit Dagger Assassin, using Reave as my main skill. My main links for Reave are Multistrike, melee physical damage, increased AoE, Fortify, and lastly either faster attacks or melee physical damage on full life, because the CI character always counts as full life, or as dead.
But Yoji, that is 5 off colors on an ES chess piece!
Yes, it would be on a pure ES base. My plan to circumvent this problem is to use an armor ES chess piece. Until very late in the game, when I might consider getting a Val Regalia and try coloring it. Rolling 4 red, 1 green and 1 blue socket on an armor ES base is very easy. And you can still get more shield on one of those than even a perfectly rolled Chevron's wrappings has. Especially with this new belt base and the Valyrium ring being added to the game this patch, we should still be able to reach very comfortable ES levels. Valpact and Ghost Reaver will help me sustain ES. The leech will have to come from gear, flasks such as Vessel of Vingtar and Atziri's Promise, and jewels. Other good flask choices include Taste of Hate and Lion's Roar, but make sure you got some space for much needed flask mods such as Remove Bleed, Freeze, Curses and maybe even Shock. Kiara's Determination can take care of 2 of those if you want to free up some extra flask space. My first goal for a mapping weapon will be Beano's Kitchen Knife. This will probably last me for a while until I can get a better rare dagger. As an assassin I will take Noxious Strike in normal difficulty to get my poison, bleeds and maims going. The Adder's Touch dagger node will help with that as well. Secondly, Toxic Delivery will be taken to enhance those even further, and in Merciless and the Uber Lab, Unstable Infusion and Deadly Infusion will facilitate power charge sustain and make crit cap very achievable. The passive tree has 360 increased crit with daggers and over 200% increased energy shield. Stats I will be looking out for on jewels are Crit Multiplier, Life and Mana Leech, Crit Multiplier, Attack Speed and Crit Multiplier. Damage over time is also a nice stat to have, as well as Crit Multiplier. On gear I will look out for Crit Chance, Crit Multi and added physical damage to attacks, as well as some leech here and there if possible. Auras I plan to run will be Discipline, Herald of Thunder with a Curse on Hit Assassin's Mark setup to gain power charges, and Herald of Ash for damage. If you pick up Charisma you could run Hatred instead of Herald of Ash for a little bit extra damage, as well as Freezing, which is defensively a very strong mechanic to have. Leveling this build will happen as life-based. A life-based leveling passive tree as well as the final CI tree can be found in the video description below. I will not switch to Reave until Multistrike and Ink AoE become available at level 38. Until then I will level with Blade Vortex and I will link it to faster casting and controlled destruction. You could probably level with Blade Vortex until Merciless Dried Lake and switch to Reave once you get there and can start using a Beano's Kitchen Knife. But as I am looking to challenge myself a bit, I will probably level with Reave starting at level 38. A melee purist could even level with Cleave and Lacerate until Multistrike becomes available. If you came here looking for a strong and easy League starter build, check out the video description below for some build guides geared more towards beginners and easy gameplay. Subscribe for more Path of Exile content. I am Yoji, and I will see you soon.